Right. Another important task of the OS is memory management. So before we look at the memory aspect in relation to OS, let us take a quick look at different types of computer memory. So if you can look at the image, we see there is a sort of hierarchy starting with registers, cache, main memory, non-volatile memory, hard disk, optical disk, magnetic tapes. If you see, the size of these bars is increasing as you move from register to magnetic tape, which indicates the storage capacity. So registers are very small, they can store very small quantities of memory. Magnetic tapes are the largest, they can store up to terabytes. Similarly, on the other hand, the access time for smaller memory units is faster. So because your registers are very small, they have only limited quantities of memory, and because they are located in the CPU and so on and so forth, it is easier to access a piece of information from the register. It is very quick as compared to, say, your main memory. So again, this is something you might be familiar with from your computer organization course. You have registers located in the CPU itself, then you have something called the cache memory, then your main memory or RAM. So when your ALU wants some data to perform something, it will first look at the register. If your data is available in the register itself, it becomes very easy. It just picks up the data and performs the calculation. Otherwise, it will check the cache memory. If it is a cache hit, well and good. If it is a cache miss, then it goes to the main memory, and that is where one entire cycle you have your program counter, instruction register, buses, read signal, write signal. There's one entire sequence of operations that happens. So as you go into the higher and higher levels of the hierarchy, and by higher I mean like as you go from registers to magnetic tapes, the amount of data you can store increases and the access time also becomes more and more. So it is very retrieving information from registers is very quick, from magnetic tapes is very slow. So this is something most of us are familiar with. Now why are we looking at this when we're learning about OS? Because OS is responsible for coordinating between all of this. So when your CPU goes and looks in the registers, and when it realizes that the data you want is not there, who tells it to go to the cache memory? And when it goes and looks in the cache and it cannot find it there as well, who tells it that this is a cache miss? Now you go to the main memory and look at it. So those instructions are given by the OS. So cache replacement techniques, this again, if you remember from COA, there are different page replacement algorithms which you must have learned to replace something in the cache memory with something else from the main memory. Those algorithms, those instructions, virtual memory mapping, again something you're familiar with, all of that is done by the operating system. So that is the OS's role in the context of memory management.